Hello guys, hope you are doing well. So today I got another Google interview question to solve. One of my friends has been recently interviewed at Google and this question has been asked to him, the longest increasing path in a matrix. And let's see in what other companies this question appears. So this question appears in Google 12 times, Facebook 8 times, Apple 5 times, Amazon 5 times and Microsoft 2 times in recent 6 months. Okay, so this problem we have to solve. So how this problem is given, like given an integer matrix, and what we need to find the length of longest increasing path. Okay, so from each cell you can either move to the four directions: left, right, up and down. You may not move diagonally or move outside of the boundary. Wrap around is not allowed. Okay, so as in the example number 1, you can see like the longest increasing path is like 1 2 6 9. This is one of the increasing longest increasing path. Okay, and yes, this is the one in longest increasing path. Other paths are smaller. Okay, so we have to find that path, and from each of the cell we can move to the four directions: either up, either left, either right, either down. Okay, so there are four possibilities from each and every state. Okay, and in the second example you can say like the longest increasing path 3 4 5 6, moving as described. Okay, so how we are going to solve this problem? So we can solve this problem like at from each cell. Okay, we can move to the all the four like all the four neighbors. Okay, all the four neighbors, and then keep the like what is the maximum that we got from each of the next neighbors. Okay, so at each cell there are four possibilities. So from each cell we can move to the next four cells. Okay, so if we are going to solve it like brute force way, then it is going to be 4 to the power n, because n here n is like number of cells. Okay, that is going to be, let's say, r comma c. Let's say that there is number of rows r and the number of column is c. Then the total complexity would be going to be like 4 to the power r cross c. Okay, but that is not optimal actually. You That is the very brute force actually. So how we can optimize this? Actually, as you can see in this problem, actually, once one of any of the state is visited, then we don't need to calculate the result for it again. So we can cache that result actually. Like when we are at cell like 9 and we move to the this 9 or like this 6. Okay, we cannot move to this 9 because it is not greater. Okay, so let's say if we are at this 2 and we move to the, not this, let's say we are at here at 4. Okay, and we can move to the 9 and we can move to the 8. So when we are moving to 8, okay, so this result might be used in some other calls. Here it is not going to be used because all the neighbors are small. So in bigger matrix or like some other matrix, the same sub problems might be called by other. So if we have somehow cached that result, okay, that can directly used instead of going and calculating for it again and again. So here we can see like overlapping sub problem property. Okay, so this is the classical example where we can apply dynamic programming memoization. So I am going to solve this problem by using memoization. So let's straight away jump into the code. So let's calculate the size of matrix, and by using this memoization, the like you can say the time complexity would reduce from 4 to the power r cross c to only order of r cross c. So let's calculate the size. R equal to matrix dot length int c equal to 0 dot length, and let's create an array integer memo, or you can say cache. Let's initialize it here. New integer r cross c, and we can move to the four directions. So we'll create an array directions. You can say 1 comma all the four directions. Okay, so 1 comma 0 minus 1 comma 0 0 comma 1 and 0 comma minus 1. So these are all four directions that we can move. And it is given like we can start from anywhere, we can from each cell we can move, so we'll need to calculate the result from each of the cell. Okay, so we'll try to check it from each of the cell, because we are allowed to move from any cell. Less than r I plus plus parent equal to 0, less than say j plus plus. Let's create a variable answer here. 0 answer equal to math.max. Solve, can say I comma j and matrix, and in the end we return the result. Now let's implement this function solve. Solve int, you can say row int column int matrix. So we'll check like if we have this result calculated in our memo array, if we have cached this result, then we simply return it. We don't need to calculate it again, so we'll simply return it here, row into column. And if it is not the case, then we calculate it by going into all the four directions. So for int d int nx equal to row plus bi comma 0, you can say int ny equal to column plus di comma 1. We'll check if it is not the outside of this grid. If nx is less than, you can select less than 0, or nx is greater than or equal to matrix dot length, or you can say ny is less than 0 or ny is greater than or equal to matrix 0 dot length, or we need to find in longest increasing path. So we have to check for like a smaller, or we need to ignore for a smaller or like equal to paths. So we'll need to take care that conditions as well. So if matrix nx ny is less than or equal to like matrix row into column, then we simply continue. We don't take this case. Otherwise, let's create a variable here answer that is equal to, let's say 0, and it's equal to math dot max answer solve nx comma ny matrix. So in the end we will increment this answer plus plus, because we are calculating the result by going to other cell. We have to add the current cell into our answer, because we need to find the longest increasing path, and the current cell is also a unit in path, so we have incremented for that here. And now we'll fill our memo array for row into column equal to answer and return answer here. So let's try to run this. So yeah, it is answer. Okay, what is error now? Di comma 0. Okay, okay, sorry, d0 comma d1. Okay, now it is correct. Okay, so it is giving me matrix. Now let's try to run it. So yeah, it is working perfectly fine. Let's try on another input. Okay, we have to format this. So yeah, it is running perfectly fine. Let's try to submit it. So yeah, we have to handle the null case as well. If like matrix equal to null, or matrix dot length equal to 0, then we simply need to return 0 here. So yeah, it is accepted. So hope you have enjoyed this video and enjoyed this memorization concept. For more videos like that, do subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching.